Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to PSAI Show Global. My name is Divesh Soni, and I'm based out of Delhi in India, a purpose performance coach, and I work with business and organization to help middle managers to unlock their engagement, performance, and productivity through purpose-driven leadership. Before we begin, I really want to share a small personal story because today's topic is very close to my story. About 4 years ago, when I created my brand called Purpose Genie, so this brand which you can see on the screen called Purpose Genie is created in I think 2021. The idea was very simple, but I felt it was very powerful, which was to help business to improve their productivity and engagement by helping people connect to their purpose. I was extremely passionate about this niche when I created because I really worked very, very hard. I believe that because I have clearly defined it, people will immediately they understand its value, connect with it, and opportunities will naturally start coming my way. But something very different happened. Whenever I spoke to people around Purpose Genie, they listened very politely, but I could sense that there were some questions in their mind and which they never asked. And I was like very surprised. I could not fully understand that why they are not connecting the way I expected. And that was the big realization. Having clarity about our niche is very, very important. We all know that, but that is not enough. We all assume that once we define our niche, success will automatically follow. And this is what exactly we are going to explore today, and we are going to dive deeper into that. And I'm sure that many of you also might have experienced something similar. You have identified your niche, you know about your expertise, you are very much passionate about your work. Your paid opportunities, you think that it will come, but it does not come consistently. So today's conversation is going to help us understand why this gap. We know about our niche. We have spent a lot of time to create that, but still that gap exists, and what we can do about it. But before that, before we go and talk about the topic, let me talk something about PSAI and the PSAI talk show. Those who have joined for the first time, you should really understand that what this community is all about. The Professional Speaker Association of India has been formed to help build a strong community to help all of you enhance your professional speaking career globally. It is a part of Global Speaker Federation, which is an organization of 17 national speaking associations across the globe. In India, PSEI is in most of the cities like Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, where I am now, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Vadodara, and we have recently launched a virtual chapter as well, where we have some international speakers as well. Objective of this community to facilitate knowledge sharing and enable the speakers to become better version of themselves and improve their ability to engage in global speaking assignments. And this particular talk show, which you can see right now, which is called PSAI talk show, is an interactive event which is designed to raise awareness about the high impact speaking topic while giving you deeper insights into PSAI vision, values, and the benefits of being part of the speaking fraternity. You can ask any question about whatever you have. You will learn from the expert, which I'm going to invite right now, and you will understand one of the very, very important topic, which is very important for the speaking world, and you will connect with some of the passionate professionals across the country. Today, as a guest, we have a speaker from Malaysia. Her name is Bavani Periasamy. She is passionate about gratitude, professional speaker, certified coach, and facilitator. She holds a Malaysia Book of Records for longest non-stop virtual training workshop, 102 hours with two other friends. She started her journey in learning and development industry in 2009. Prior to that, in sales. Now, journey in MAPS, which is Malaysian Association Professional Speaking, started with being an admin and 2019 became MAPS president. Currently, she works with individuals and organizations to build a way of living and culture of gratitude and appreciation for better life and workplace. And on the other part of her life, she also does coaching for cancer patients and caretakers. Bhavani, welcome to PSAI Talk Show, and I'm glad to host you today. Welcome, Bhavani. You have to unmute yourself.
Rookie mistake. My apologies. Hello, I'm happy to be here. Divesh, can I add something to your
Yes,
introduction?
please. Sure.
Um, PSS. This is from PSAI. I am always very, very close to PSAI at heart.
Still very fresh in our mind.
Yes.
Great. So, Bhavani, I was just talking about my story that I created my brand, 4 years back, and then there was a difficulty in understanding that you know about your passion, you know about your niche, you have already defined, spent some time, and still you're not able to connect to the right audience. So, do you have any such story or the background where, or any specific feedback which you have got from the expert or the signal which you would have realized, which is the actually the issue was not the market relevance, but sorry, issue was not was the market relevance, not the speaking capability. So do you have any such story which you can share with us and tell us about it?
Yes. So just a background story. I joined. I didn't join. I was helping out MAPS, Malaysian Association of Professional Speakers, since 2009. I attended a lot of events by default because I helped. I learned a lot about branding, marketing, visibility, and all of that. And when I was nudged into the speaking industry, it was just natural that I pick up gratitude because um, gratitude helped change my life. I was a bit burnout. I was a bit demotivated. Learning appreciation helped me personally, and I think people just knew I that's what I'm going to champion. But the problem came when I'm not getting business. Everyone knew me about being very passionate about gratitude. Everyone knew that this is my passion. And if you want to speak to credibility, I also had credibility. And I wasn't getting called to do speaking on gratitude. I get other jobs, coaching, other workshops. But what I was not getting was paid engagements. It takes me a lot of effort to pitch and get called, and that's only if someone talks to me and I'm able to convince them. But it was not pouring in. The invitations and the callings to come, hey, come and speak in my conference or even do a workshop, was not coming. And I was wondering why. Everywhere I go, people like, oh, you are the person who talks on gratitude. Oh, you are MAP's past president. Then why am I not getting calls? So I went to my mentor, one of my mentor, and I said, I think something is wrong. I'm not getting called for paid engagements. I get called for NGO talks as for token, but not really corporate. And he said, I really really love that you love gratitude. No one can dispute that. But you know what? The question is, so what? So what about gratitude? And I was like, what? Why are you saying this to me? You just said that, you love my passion, but you're asking me, so what? Um, it was an ego hit because I was so sure gratitude helps. And I know gratitude helps. Why is my mentor saying, so what? And I said, what am I not doing right? What's wrong? I thought people recognize me. People know of my topic. He said, yeah, people know of your topic, but people don't know what they can do with your topic. You're not talking the corporate lingo. And I'm like, not talking corporate lingo, what does that mean? And he said, if I'm corporate, you are speaking on gratitude. I don't know what are you going to do for my people. I don't know what changes can you bring. I don't know what's the ROI in calling you. Is gratitude all about saying thank you? I said, no, it's beyond that. I know corporate don't know. So that was a hit to me. It was an ego hit as well. and And then I started asking, so what do I do now? And he said, what does gratitude do? I said, well, my mentor is also my former boss. And I think many of you may have been lucky to see him on stage. His name is Raymond Poon. And I said, you know why gratitude is important. You saw it. He said, yes, again, I know, others don't know. So tell me, if someone comes to your talk, what happens? I say, well, they are energized. Things change for them internally. If a culture changes and it's an appreciative work culture, people are motivated, people are productive, people are resourceful. And he says, but you're not talking that, you're only talking about gratitude. And then it hit me. I was so obsessed with my topic, I was not thinking about what people need to hear. I was just consumed with the word gratitude. I was consumed with Bavani being the professional speaker speaking on gratitude, but I wasn't speaking what the corporate needs to hear. So
Yeah,
that's my painful lesson.
that sounds so familiar to me because I have been in exactly same discussion where I was very much passionate about my niche called purpose, and then somebody told me that, so what? If you are passionate, maybe people are not understanding your language. Maybe they don't want to hear that. They want to hear something else. So I was stuck on how and not the what. So thank you for sharing that. I think this is very, very important to understand about what is the need of the corporate clients. That is something which you have to understand. So tell me that from the corporate client perspective, what makes a speaker commercially valuable beyond having expertise?
So I'm going to share another situation. And it's just coincident that these people all have just been to PSS. So I went to a friend who does branding, and I said, I'm having problem, and I had this chat with Raymond, and I know I need to do something. Raymond gave me some tips on how I should reorganize my marketing materials, repitch when I introduce myself to people. So I went to PK. Again, once again, you may know PK from PSS. And PK said, Bhavani, I also have the same question. Actually, what do you do? I know you love gratitude, but what do you do? My staff also asked me, what does Bhavani do? And I was like, oh God, even my own friend is asking me this. Then it really hit me. And one of the things that he said, three important things for someone, whether you're a speaker, trainer, whatever that you do as a professional. First, you need to have visibility. And he said, my dear, you have visibility. You need to have credibility. My dear, you have credibility. The third thing that you need to have relatability, you don't have that. So I said, oh, okay, I don't have relatability. Sounds very similar to what Raymond just told me. And he said, once again, I know you do gratitude, you speak on gratitude, but what exactly do you do? What are you doing for corporate? I know you like writing journals, I know you teach on that. And I realized, oh goodness, I've just missed a boatload of opportunities simply because people didn't know what was I doing, what's the impact of my work. I was speaking a lot about how great a gratitude is, how to do it, but not communicating. What's the word? I'm not communicating why it's powerful. I was just obsessed with gratitude is important. You need gratitude. Everyone needs gratitude. It's so powerful. So that was my painful learning. Can I or am I relatable to clients, organizations, people who make decisions? Why Bawani who speaks on gratitude? Why not another motivational speaker? That's my learning.
Very, very powerful. I mean, I have learned something new today, that visibility, credibility, and relatability. So we need to have all. And again, I can really align to that because even my topic was not relatable to people, and maybe they were not understanding and connecting that what do I do? Because you mentioned that you're passionate about gratitude, but what do we do? So that's a very powerful question we all should ask when we before we even think about talking to the clients, because that's something which they are, it's not about what we are saying, it's about what they want to hear, right? So that's something which you um, Can you distinguish between the topic clarity and the problem clarity? Because problem, we all are here to solve some of the problem for the clients. So if you can just help us to understand about the difference between topic clarity and the problem clarity,
Okay, let me see if
and,
I
and, and
can.
especially and especially when you're pitching globally.
Okay, let me see if I can address that with my own situation. So my topic clarity is, or at least before, I speak on gratitude, and I said appreciation at workplace. That wasn't too clear until I had to tweak later. So so with guidance from both Raymond and PK Prasad Kanagaras, then I realized that I need to identify what's the problem I'm solving. So the two things that I focus on right now is how an appreciative work culture helps with productivity, and how an appreciative work culture also helps with burnout. So I needed to craft my problem statement. My problem statement was managing burnout, increasing productivity. And my topic clarification right now, or the way to clarify, is how appreciation at workplace increases productivity, or sometimes, depending where I'm pitching, how does gratitude or appreciation at workplace manage to reduce burnout at workplace? I hope I answered the question the way you wanted.
Yes, I think it is very clear, and I could also resonate to that because that's how even I, when I used to, I think 2 years back, when I used to call myself as purpose activator or purpose coach, now I know that with purpose, I really want to uh, enhance the performance in the business, and that's how I connected myself to now. I call myself purpose performance coach, and I did some of the certification to connect both the things, and now I'm really talking to the audience that what exactly they want to be, they want to solve. And I think this is really important to understand about the topic clarity and the problem clarity, because we all need to understand how to solve the problem, and we need to be very much clear about that. Yeah.
Yes, and I think
uh
also
yeah.
not to get caught up with trending words. So people tend to ask me, "Oh, so you do mental health?" I don't do mental health, and I am very clear with that. I will explain that one way to manage burnout is through appreciative work culture. I am not an expert in mental health because I'm not. I really am not.
Mm,
To also have
yeah.
that clarity of where you stand and what you actually can do, because I really am not an expert in managing mental health.
Wow, even this is something very powerful, that what sometime we need to say no, and we have to define the boundary that where we are,
Yes,
so that we can say no.
unless we are an expert. Yeah.
Correct, correct, correct. So I think audience, you also note this point, because sometimes we are, when the work comes to us, we just say yes to everything, and when we know our topic, when we are clear about that, we can say with that confidence, we can say that this is not my expertise. So maybe you can contact somebody else for that, and this is, I think, this is very much doable. We all can do that, right? So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Before we converse about this topic, I want to also tell the audience that if you have any question, please put in the comment section, so that we can take the questions, and we can ask question from the expert Bhavani. So put your questions there, and we will take your questions. Yeah. uh, I also wanted to understand, because most of the audience which we have now, all are, either speakers or aspirational speakers or professional speakers. If they really want to reposition today, what is the first structural change they should make in their bio, in their website, or their pitch deck?
I think first, before even doing any physical changes, is first to find the inner clarity. That means our body, mind, soul on its own have to have the clarity. Who am I? What am I speaking for? What problem and whose problem I'm solving? So once we have that inner clarity, then it starts with, of course, the one that is visible. It could be the social media profile, it could be the speaker profile, it could be how we even introduce ourselves at a networking session, or when we go to see client. It's about how we introduce ourselves, and that's a painful lesson I learned, because a lot of people, when they found out that this is what I do, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you actually do work like this because I thought you only speak on gratitude. So how we introduce ourselves, how we scope our work, I think that's important for that message to go that this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I offer, and this is how I solve organization or individual problems.
Thank you for touch base on the inner clarity part, because I think this is something that is the first step, right? And this is what you mean. The first step is to have the inner clarity that who you are, and then accordingly you decide that what you want to do, and then you define everything in your bio, website, and the pitch deck accordingly. So that has to be there, has to be the alignment between who you are and what you do. I think something very similar to that we heard in one of the speech in PSS 2026, that the gap between who you are and what you do, if you start shrinking that, I think that will be much more powerful for you. So you said something similar. Even Anupriya just now, she sent a message. She was there was a comment from her that saying that she also said no to some of the thing which was very powerful, but it was not aligning to her. So that's why she said no to that. So I think we should define the boundary, and we should always do that. Now we are in the era of AI, artificial intelligence, and now Delhi is having one of the AI summit. I think starting today, and we everybody is talking about that. Artificial intelligence. You think that? I mean, can you tell me that how AI can be used, not just for the content creation, but for validating whether a topic has real commercial demand or not? If you have some experience on onto that, maybe you can suggest the audience on the topic which we are talking today.
So 7 8 years ago when I had this reality check that I am not I was a bit self-obsessed and self-obsessed with my topic. I had to do a lot of tests. I had to literally write out different scripts, how I would introduce myself. Does this make sense? And then I have to go to my friends who are in corporate or in HR and say, if I introduce myself this way, does it attract you? Does it make you curious? And that process of finding the right words took me a while because I had to craft something, try it out, and then realize this word is not so exciting. I went through a stage of doing all of that. I wish I had AI back then because what I realize is now that when speakers come and ask me, how did you do it? I get AI to help them to fine tune the pitch. What are the nice words to use? Uh, what are the trends that's happening? What are organizational trends and preference? So AI will help with the research to craft. But once again, you can't depend 100% on AI to do it. You got to flavor it to the way you speak. You don't want to sound like someone that you are not. So you got to refine with the help of AI to sound your natural self. And when I say your natural self is so that you are grounded. When people see you, they are like, oh yeah, yeah. If it's Divesh, yes, that's who Divesh is. That's what he does. So the message must also blend into the professional aura that we show off. So if I'm someone who's not grateful and I call myself gratitude advocate, it doesn't make sense. So that's where you need to do the check and balance with whatever AI give to see, does that sound like me? Do these words represent who I am, and check with the value system. So that's one thing that I think AI can do.
I definitely, I mean, everybody who is listening to you, they would agree with this, that AI is one of the thing uh, which is very, very powerful today. But then, yes, as you mentioned, that we do not have to completely depend on that. We always have to, when the when you put the prompt, when the answer comes, we need to always make it, we have to change as per needed. So it's very important that you use that carefully, and then use that for your own advantage, that how you can use and how you can uh, take the most of the benefit out of it. We have some of the questions from the audience, and we will take the questions from there. So the first question is from Jasmine, who asked that what was the first breakthrough speech opportunity you received?
It was a student program, and it was from one of a fellow MAPS member who is also my mentor in many ways. His name is Jagadiswaran, and he gave me an opportunity to speak at one of his client events, because coincidentally what they needed was something that I could do. So that was I think my first event, and I think it was 10 years ago, a paid event that I got.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Bhavani. And we have one more question which we'll take from the audience, and then we will move to a very interesting part of our conversation. Can we have the second question? Yes, so second question from Lalit. It says that can it work if speaker gets the problem of audience at the start or from the organizers?
It has to be
Can it?
that way. It has to be that way, because we really need to, you see, I can speak on gratitude, but I really need to know, in the first place, why did the organization or the person who hired me is looking for me. There must be a reason why they called me. So I need to know why they first called me, and then understand what's a challenge that they have, and also understand what outcome they want. Is it a behavior change? Is it an awareness, an insight? So we need to have the clarity before we speak, or not it's again coming back to being self-obsessed. I'm going to share what I want, and it's going to be hit and miss. Whether or not it's relevant to the audience, we won't know. So we have to have that clarity before we craft our keynote, our speech. Those data are so crucial to have. Why are we there on stage? We must do justice to our audience. So I think that's one of the first things we need to do. We need to know why, what, the whole reason why we are on stage there.
Yes. So one of the thing which I also, when I go to my client, one of the thing which I really suggest that, I mean, that's the whole essence of being purposeful, that how you can
Mhm.
shift your focus from me to we. And that is what I think you're also saying, that when you go to the client, it's not about you anymore. It's about what they want. What is the problem which they want to be solved? What is the, outcome which they want? What is the challenge which they're facing? So that is something which is really important for all of us as a speaker, that we have to understand, we have to shift the perspective from me to for to them, to the client, and then start thinking from their perspective. So thank you for sharing that. And now we move to a very interesting part, which is going to be rapid fire questions for you, Bhavani. So are you ready for that?
Sure, bring it
Yeah.
on.
All right, bring it on. So one thing speakers should stop doing.
Be self-obsessed.
Be self-obsessed. All
You
right.
said stop
One
being, right? Stop being self-obsessed.
Yeah, yeah. One fear you had when you started speaking.
The stage lights.
Stage lights. Yeah, I think
You know,
many of us stage lights. Yeah. When
the
the time
lights.
comes
Yeah.
closer, the heartbeat, it goes. Yeah.
No, I'm talking
Okay,
about the
so
actual lights we have when we do some conferences. We have those lights. So
when the
those
light comes
lights,
on, okay, got it,
yes,
got it. Thank you for sharing that. One daily habit that keeps you grounded.
gratitude.
I was kind of, expecting this answer. So tell me one thing, if the gratitude had a color, what would it be?
This color,
Pink. What
yeah,
is that? Is it
it's a
okay?
pinkish purple.
Pinkish purple. Okay, okay, great. Which is harder for you, speaking for 60 minutes or staying silent for 60 minutes?
Speaking for 60 minutes.
This is one of the
It's
questions I
really
think we should ask to all the speakers. Because I know there are many people who just, if you give the mic to that person, they don't want to stop. Okay. If your speaking journey were a movie, what would the title be?
magic of gratitude.
Magic of gratitude. Wow, that's powerful. One word that defines your purpose. That is coming from my own niche.
Again, the question one.
One word that defines your purpose.
Is it too cliche if I say gratitude again?
Yeah, you can say that. That's completely fine. Yeah. One
Ah,
word that
yeah,
you
I
can
think I
use.
would say
It
that.
is.
It
Yeah.
is gratitude.
Stage heels or comfortable shoes? What do you secretly
Comfortable
prefer?
shoes. Comfortable
Okay.
shoes.
Speaking or writing? What energizes you more?
Writing.
Okay. And one of the habit which you want to share to the audience, or maybe it can be related to gratitude as well. That's fine.
Remember to say thank you.
Hmm. Okay. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I think, did you enjoy the questions?
Yes.
Okay, so now we are moving towards the closer of the conversation today. But I just wanted to check with you that do you have anything in your mind which you really want to share with your audience? Any mindset shift which all the speaker must have if they want to move from being passionate about a topic to being hired for the business impact. Anything which you want to share? The last few suggestions or guidance from you. And
I
and
think
we
if
have one
there's
more question from the audience. Sorry. So take this question and we have one question from audience afterwards. Yeah.
I think if there's one lesson I learned is that you can be so passionate about your topic, you are so confident of the results, but remember it's not about you as the speaker or even me as the speaker. It's about the audience who's listening to us. What do they need? Not what, yes, what I have to offer, but more important, I need to know what they need before I can offer what I have. So for me, it's been a humbling shift from I'm an expert in gratitude to what do you need from me. So just remember that when we speak to people or anyone, is to figure out what they need. We all have our expertise, which is very important, but what's more important is not us. It's um it's always the people that we are interacting with. So I have friends who are not speakers and they say, oh, you are the hero on stage. I've come to learn to say I'm not the hero on stage. The hero are the people who are listening to me, because they are the ones who are going to take the action. So I think I'm not the hero on stage. My audience should be the hero in the room. So that's one message I
That
think I
was that
want to.
was beautiful. That was beautiful. I think that thanks for sharing that because it is very important that we need to think about how we can serve the people rather than thinking about us and exaggerating our the work which we are doing. So it's important that if we shift that focus, that will be really important. So we have one more question from audience. So we have question from Yabijan. How can speakers validate whether their niche actually solves a problem of organization are willing to pay for?
The first signal, are you getting invitations? If you're not getting invitations and people know you, people recognize you, people trust you, then something is wrong somewhere. And this is a humble lesson I took from PK. If someone knows you and they are not calling you, they know you very well, but they are not calling you, then your branding has gone wrong somewhere. So that's first, the knowing whether you're getting the invitations. Second is we all belong to this beautiful association. I'm in PSAI right now, and back here in Malaysia, I have maps. Sometimes it's just to ask our friends, in my case, some of my mentors, my very close circle, hey, I want your opinion. This is how I'm framing, how I introduce myself. What's your opinion? What are your thoughts on this? Especially people who have been in the business for very long, people who have been in the speaking business, especially for longer than we have, is to just grab them and say, I just want a quick chat with you. This is how I'm doing it. What do you think? You've been talking to corporate more than me from a speaking perspective, because we all have got corporate experience, but very specifically speaking experience. What are your thoughts? And sometimes if you have friends who are in corporate, whether in HR, CEO, um, just ask them, hey, I just want a honest opinion from you. When I mention this topic, what comes to mind? Is this something that you would invest in? I think we shouldn't be afraid to ask for feedback, but getting the feedback and acting on it is another. So that's what I would say, how we can immediately validate. That's two ways I think has helped me a lot. One is recognizing I'm not getting paid, and second is just going back to my association, my friends, and asking them, I need help. Please help. So I
I'm
hope
sure that
we can do that.
yeah, I'm sure that this really resonates because I the first one really hit hard on me, that when you're if you're not getting enough gigs, which means that there's something wrong with your brand. Uh, I will thank PK for that, for suggesting, and thanks to you to bringing up for all the audience which we have today. And the second one is that how you can get the feedback from all your your friends or community where you are. So yeah, PK is here. Hi PK. So yeah, so it
I
is really
think
very
PSAI has got incredible people. Kiruba, Vinay, um, oh God, what was his name? What's our marketing outlier guy's name? I just mentioned his name earlier.
Praveen Shekhar.
Praveen, PSAI has got amazing people.
Yes,
Please
yes, we
attend
have.
events. Attending events is so important. Attend events. Ask them, but please, sometimes you need to pay for events. And sorry, you need to pay for services. So if you need more help, pay for consultation. Please don't take friends for granted because they're also making a living.
Of course, and we need to understand that we all are here to to scale the business and all, of course, to serve. So we can scale our business with the service which we are doing. Then we need to do that. So and we all need to understand each other, and we need to support each other. And totally agree that we have some very powerful and purposeful people in PSAI who are really doing
You
so
definitely
good.
do.
Yes. So I was in Chennai and I saw how people are helping each other to for other to grow, and that is I think that is also giving me motivation to continue the journey and take the responsibility as much as I can. So I think thank you very much, Bhavani, for sharing all those experience which you have, and the topic was very important for the audience to understand that why their niche is not working and how they can shift their focus from how to what is the problem, and shift the focus from you to your client, so that you can solve their problem. You can think about solving the challenges which they have, and change your perspective. So I think yeah, it was very meaningful for me, and I'm sure for the audience also it brought a lot of clarity in terms of how you can define your niche. If you have any further question, please connect to Bhavani. Bhavani is based in Malaysia, but you can always connect to her on LinkedIn and ask questions around this topic. And yes, so thank you very much, all the audience, for listening to us. And have a good evening. Have a nice week ahead. Thank you very much, and yes, good evening, good night.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you.
PSAI.